priority, I think, when dealing with an eclipse, especially for kids, teenagers, is you don't want to look directly at the sun. And so during an eclipse, it's pretty exciting. We should be in the path of totality this year, and so there will be parts of the eclipse where the sun is not fully covered by the moon, and so looking directly up at that interface between the sun and the moon is going to be a problem. You don't want to look directly at the sun. Even a small amount of time looking directly at the sun with no sunglasses on, with regular sunglasses on, through a telescope without a filter, through binoculars without a filter, through a cell phone without a filter, can lead to major problems with the eye. It's called solar retinopathy. It's literally a burn that occurs on your retina that once it's there is not going to go away, and it could potentially leave central black spots in your vision permanently. There are a couple great ways to view an eclipse, specifically eclipse glasses, which are up to 1,000 times darker than regular sunglasses. That's why you can't use sunglasses. These glasses for the eclipse are certified by an organization called the ISO, and it's important that if you're going to look at the eclipse, you use these types of glasses. The only time to remove the glasses during an eclipse is if there is actual totality, where you can't see any of the sun and the moon is totally covering it. Only for that small period of time, maybe you could take the glasses off, but then you would need to put them back on before you could see the sun again. There are other methods. You've seen maybe people use cardboard boxes, two different platforms to look at an eclipse, and it's kind of looking at it indirectly. And then there are filters that can be placed onto camera phones, filters that can be placed on regular phones, on regular cameras, on telescopes, on binoculars. So filters, if they're specific for the eclipse, are useful, but most people are not going to have those. Most of the time, if you're going to be looking at the eclipse, you will need these glasses. It can happen very quickly. Within seconds, you won't know it's happening, and then the after effects can be potentially devastating to your vision. If there is noticeable changes in your vision, it's probably going to stay there long term. I will say the frequency of this happening during an eclipse is pretty low. It doesn't happen very often, but if it does, it's pretty devastating, and that's why it's really important, I think, to make sure you take the proper precautions, and especially if you're around kids, to make sure that children understand that this is a cool event, but it's not something we can look directly at.